Hello guys. Welcome to my channel. If you're here, you don't just want a story, you want the real story behind it. Not just dates and names, but the secrets hidden behind closed doors. The ambitions, betrayals, and small decisions that changed the world. On this channel, we travel through time, from ancient Rome to the present day, from feudal Japan, from streets filled with plague, to the icy seas of the Vikings. We explore forgotten scandals, unsolved mysteries, and human stories hidden behind official records. We use modern technology to carefully recreate the past, not to change it, but to help you see and understand it more clearly. After all, history didn't just happen. It was lived by real people. Subscribe and join me to explore the moments that shaped our world. Behind the walls of the Vatican, power has never been merely spiritual. For centuries, the papal throne was one of the most dangerous seats in the world. Popes were poisoned, imprisoned, bribed, and betrayed. Scandals unfolded behind frescoed ceilings while armies marched in God's name outside. Here, faith and politics intertwined so tightly that it became impossible to tell where one ended and the other began. What really happened behind those locked doors? And how much of what we believe about the Church was shaped by ambition rather than belief? From Rome, we travel east, into silence. In feudal Japan, shadows moved where honor stood still. The samurai lived by rigid codes, bound to loyalty, ritual, and public identity. But alongside them existed another world, unofficial, unseen, and deadly. The ninja were not myths, nor merely assassins in black. They were spies, saboteurs, survivors in a fractured land of endless war. Their secrets were passed in whispers, erased from official histories written by their enemies. Who were they really? And why did history try so hard to forget them? From silence, we move to screams. Victorian England was an empire at its peak, industrial, confident, and convinced of its own moral superiority. Yet in the narrow streets of Whitechapel, something shattered that illusion. Jack the Ripper did more than kill. He exposed the rot beneath respectability. A city of gaslight and progress suddenly confronted fear, poverty, misogyny, and institutional blindness. The murders were never solved. But perhaps the greater mystery is why they could happen at all. Across the channel, revolution rewrote reality itself. France did not simply overthrow a king. It attempted to reinvent humanity. Liberty, equality, brotherhood, words that promised salvation and delivered terror. At the heart of it lies a necklace, extravagant, cursed, and deceptively trivial. A scandal that destroyed Marie Antoinette's reputation before the blade ever fell. And Robespierre, incorruptible in name, merciless in practice. How did a revolution, fueled by justice, become a machine that devoured its own children? Long before revolutions, power wore gold. In ancient Egypt, survival meant mastery of politics, image, and desire. Cleopatra was not merely a seductress. She was a strategist navigating Rome's hunger and Egypt's fragility. Her alliances were weapons, her intelligence underestimated. And centuries earlier, a boy, king ascended the throne, Tutankhamun. His life was short, his death mysterious, but his tomb changed history forever. Treasures buried for eternity spoke louder than any chronicle. What do they still hide? And what price did Egypt pay for divine kingship? As empires flourished, ordinary people endured. The Middle Ages were not only castles and crusades, but hunger, superstition, and terror. In dancing plagues, entire towns moved until they collapsed, as if possessed by something unseen. Doctors dressed like birds, believing beaks could protect them from death itself. Was it disease, faith, or mass hysteria? Or something far more human, panic in a world? Earlier still, Rome believed it had all the answers. In Cicero's Rome, politics was performance, rhetoric was weaponry, and survival depended on words as much as swords. The Republic stood on the brink of collapse while its greatest minds argued for its soul. Cicero spoke of law, virtue, and order. While chaos crept ever closer, Rome did not fall suddenly. It unraveled through compromise, ambition, and the quiet acceptance of the unacceptable. And beyond the warmth of the Mediterranean, there was ice. In the far north, where the sea freezes and the sun disappears, the Vikings forged a world of spirit and steel. Eric the Red did not merely explore. He was exiled, banished, forced into legend. The North was not empty. It was alive with belief, myth, endurance, and relentless motion. A kingdom not of crowns, but of survival itself. How did these people navigate a world that seemed determined to destroy them? And why do their stories still haunt us? These are not isolated tales. They are threads in a single human fabric. Different centuries, different cultures, the same desires to rule, to belong, to understand, to be remembered. History does not give us simple answers. Sometimes it gives us contradictions, sometimes only fragments. That is where storytelling becomes essential. On this channel, some scenes are reconstructed, carefully, transparently, grounded in evidence, but open about uncertainty, because imagination, when disciplined by history, becomes a tool, not a lie. We do not replace facts. We breathe life into them. This channel is for those who want to step inside history, to feel its weight, to question its narratives, and to understand that behind every event was a human being who did not know how the story would end. History is not finished speaking, and this is where we begin.